This is GHOSTWATCH2016. The three of us are watching Kamen Rider Ghost. My name is Coriander Dickinson. I've seen some Kamen Rider.
My name is Heather Deary. Corey's not doing the thing.
I'm Kate Stark. I'm very confused because Corey's not doing the thing with the hands. Why are you doing the thing with the hands?
Yeah, Corey.
We're all doing the thing with the hands.
Friendship.
Corey,
Why
I
are
see
you not
your,
doing the
there,
there we go.
is. How
Let's
does
start
it feel?
over.
This is GHOSTWATCH2016. We're watching Kamen Rider Ghost. My name is Coriander Dickinson. I've seen some Kamen Rider.
My name is Heather Deary. Now we're all being friends.
My name's Kate Stark. I'm so happy now.
If any of you would wish to support our podcast, please visit ghostwatch2016.xyz and then throw money there in a giant hole called PayPal.
We are professionals, if you hadn't noticed.
We are very professional.
This week's episode was episode 22, and it was called
Treachery, Adele's Trap.
On last week's episode, Taco gave his sack away.
Like not like he's Santa Claus.
Taco gave his sack
the
away.
sack that he carries all his icons in.
No,
he gave
it's
away.
It's a very special time in his life to give away his sack.
QE apparently lives at Snapple HQ now,
Straight up in the basement.
and Taco broke into Gnome Hell.
Everybody's got a soul.
You get a soul, and you get a soul.
I got a soul.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a soul.
This week we start with PB looming over a capsule with a tiny window on it in which we can see the unconscious body of Makoto.
It looks like a coffin.
I thought it looked like a photocopier when we first saw it from the angle it was at, so I've been calling them photocopier coffins this entire time.
It's kind of a futuristic... We're in Gnome Hell, right? So it's kind of a futuristic situation. They look like
It doesn't
space
go,
coffins.
Yeah, they live in space coffins in like a concrete parkade.
Yeah, they look like coffins you would see from the future of an 80s movie.
It's also dystopian, like post-apocalyptic. Everything is broken. There's rubble everywhere and shrapnel everywhere.
Yeah, and then these future sci-fi coffins.
I don't know what kind of utopia that they've been talking about this whole time, but this looks like trash. Except the inside of wherever they are is very slick.
I mean, they all might just be in some VR machines.
They're deep, deep in the VR world. The VR
They can't
zone.
get out.
They're gonna get Digimon.
That would explain how Military Man combined with the Rocksneck. It's that season of Digimon where the people in the Digimon
That's not a good
Rocksnecks
thing.
are Digimon.
No.
Snackmon.
Yes, okay. I'm okay with the Rocksnecks being Digimon. I'm not okay with the fusion. No.
Transformers headmasters then.
No. Not into this anime future.
This to Transformers with his heads.
This is not the podcast I signed up to do.
We cut to Snapple HQ, where I lost track of what was going on because Onari was all like, Master Bat, Master Spider, Master Condor, you're with me. And I was very taken with it.
QB's painting on the main table, and Cannon comes and sits by him, and he's all like, "Do you want to paint with me?"
She was delighted and totally took him up on the offer. I thought it was a very cute bonding moment between them.
Mm-hmm. We cut to inside Possessed President's business room in Deep Connect, which is totally a real thing.
The name of the company. It's deep and it's connected.
But like there was a
Everywhere.
poster on the wall behind him, and it was like, expand your horizons or something like that, and had like a photo of a drop of water and then their business logo. So I still can't tell what the business does.
I don't think you're supposed to know.
They're deeply connected on the web, in that deep dark web. That deep
Synergy.
dark web with the deep dark sharks.
So they're
are.
on the dark web.
The darkest web.
Yeah. Master Spider knows all about it. It's where he jams his tunes on the webs.
Come on and slam.
Spider's
Welcome.
a DJ now.
Welcome to the jam.
He'd like to be one. He's not really. He's new. He's starting, okay? He's trying it out.
So Possessed President tells Mr. Steamy Punk that everything's going well and good, and Steamy Punk's like, no, it sucks, and then turns around and electrocutes Saber Gnome. It was like, kill the traitor.
I thought steampunk was talking about Saber Gnome.
Oh,
It was
you
like,
think-
I'm going to execute this traitor here because Saber kind of didn't
no,
do what
yeah,
he wanted.
That's the thing. Saber didn't kill even after being possessed. I just realized that a ghost got possessed by a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You just realized that part.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That just happened. But now we have ghost lightning electrifying a ghost.
Which, spoilers, comes up a lot in this episode.
Ghost lightning? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of ghost lightning. Maybe too much ghost lightning.
We then see Taco walking through Gnome Hell outside amongst the rubble and shrapnel, saying, "This is a perfect utopia. This doesn't look like perfect utopia.
There's no one here.
There's no one here, and it looks like trash."
And then there are people there.
Yeah, all
Generic.
the
I was
generic,
like, haha, ninjas coming in, but no, they're actually just basically dudes in hoodies.
the generic gnomes.
Come to rumble Taco, and
The weird thing, though, Taco doesn't transform. He just pulls out his friggin' Buster sword,
from off screen, he just
From
like
off
reaches
screen.
down the bottom of the screen, pulls up his sword.
which is huge. It is.
It's a Buster sword,
It's
basically.
the Buster sword. Yeah,
Yeah,
A rock-
short for Buster sword, but it's still.
the
Yeah.
width is pretty much there.
Yeah, he slashes a couple of them. A rock's neck comes down from the sky and
Like attacks him,
attacks him. He fights it.
pushes him
kind
to
of
the
runs away
side?
from it.
It looked like the rocksnake had its like mouth open and was going like oh as it came down from the sky. I thought it was gonna like pick him up, but it just swooped down.
Honestly don't know why a rock's neck would be any more interested in him than a generic. I don't think they can see in color.
like dogs.
Well, no, like everything's really lensed heavily red in Gnome Hell, and I just kind of think that's all they can see. I don't think anyone can see in color in Gnome Hell unless you're not in the red zone.
Pretty boy is standing over Space Coffin again, and goes, "Ooh, an intruder!
Intruder
And there's
alert!
an intruder."
Alert! It's like red flashing lights instead of
Yeah.
red static lights.
Yep.
And two super gnomes show up to fight Taco.
He transforms though, but then
This time
his
he goes full booster juice and
his
like
jacket.
does like a sideways run attack through all the things as his jacket explodes around him.
It is pretty cool. I want a jacket like that.
It's super red, yeah. And then we're back at Snapple HQ, and they're all painting.
Kari wants to know what Gnome Hell is like, but QB's just kind of like, everyone's an icons about it. This is paint. Painting's more fun.
Now we're back in Gnome Hell. There's a lot of going back between the worlds in this episode, but we're in the what do we call the room that it's chapel-esque, I guess.
I don't know.
It's some kind of a prayer room.
Yeah, so the emperor is
On
praying.
a platform in a dark void with several cards floating in the air around him.
with I think it's Eyecon like not
Logos.
logos, but floating around. And then Prince Adele walks in,
Sweaty bro.
sweaty bro, and what is it called? What are we calling it?
Ghost lightning.
Ghost lightnings him. Emperor dies.
It is not quite ghost lightning because it turns him into purple fire.
And then an icon appears.
And then an icon pops
Yeah.
out and then shatters.
Yeah, it's a weird lightning fire mix thing. But Best Dad is gone now.
Thick.
Thick, right? I forgot about Thick Dad.
Dad.
Thick Dad got exploded.
Thick with 2 C's.
In case you needed the spelling on that. It's very important.
With spaces in between every letter.
Yes.
We cut to Taco's fight with the generics, and from out of nowhere, Pretty Boy body checks into the scene and is all like, "No, what are you doing here? I fight you."
We also had a weird cut to the monolith glowing in the basement, and Gramps is there in an actual Gramps outfit.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, it's beginning. The powers. There's a disturbance in the force."
I'm beginning to think he's split into two.
He's split into two?
I think he's two people. I think he's the same person, but I think there's two of them. I think there's the Gramps we know that we were like, oh, he's just this funny old man who likes to wear different outfits, and then there's like military Gramps.
So one person split into two, not twins.
I don't think they're twins. I think they're the same soul. They got split out of their icon or something weird. I'm making guesses.
Okay.
Trying to figure out how this story works still.
You're doing great.
We cut to Sweat Bro walking into White Lady's room, and telling her that, oh, I'm just gonna ascend to the Imperial throne right now. Our dad was assassinated like 5 minutes ago. I'm gonna go make an announcement. Oh, it was Pretty Boy that did it.
Just as an aside, White Lady is a lady who's wearing all white. Just wanted to say that.
Considering we've named people for less. At least she's wearing all white.
I called her Sister in White.
Sister in White, Lady in White.
I like Sister in White. That's pretty good.
Well, she's the sister.
She's also the princess.
I'm not calling her White Princess.
She's Sweat Bro's sister and Pretty Boy's sister.
Sweaty sister.
Ew.
No,
no.
white sister.
No.
No, that's
No.
bad too.
Sister Lady. Okay.
But she's not a nun.
I'm gonna keep saying White Lady. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're still undecided about White Lady's nickname. Got it. We go back to Snapple HQ. We're Onari is standing guard outside the temple, and Cannon runs up with a picture of a bunch of like little octopuses and stuff for the takoyaki stand.
She painted it with QB and was like, I'm going to give it to Grandma Fumi.
She's so excited about it.
It was a really cute painting.
And Onari's all like, yes, this is good.
But then Akari runs in with an iPad and is like, look, the news.
I read it.
This company is buying up all of their competitors and being weird all of a sudden, even though there's totally normal stuff going on in this building.
It's V suspicious.
QB comes along and he says something about how he had to paint that building, but he doesn't like that building.
Because that building stinks.
It is a gross building.
Stinky building. That's the stinky building that I was forced to paint by Steamy Punk.
Yes.
And then Akari's all like, KMS is behind it.
Yeah, she really likes to blame things on KMS.
Yeah, she is not allowed to nickname. We've told her this several times, but she keeps doing it.
We'll write her a letter. It's okay.
So, Sister PB, I don't know what we're calling her. We're back in Gnome Hell. Says that Pretty Boy would never kill Thick Dad. But then Makoto shows up from behind her, and she turns around and she's like, oh, Makoto, I'm smiling and I'm happy that you're here. Yay.
Corey and I are just losing it over here listening to Heather say Sister of PB and Thick Dad are having a conversation.
No, just that Pretty Boy would never kill Thick Dad.
No,
PB would never kill Thick Dad.
he wouldn't.
Gnomes are complicated.
PB's not a gnome. PB's PB.
What do you mean PB's not a gnome?
PB's definitely a gnome.
Royalty.
He's
definitely a gnome.
Prince, Prince of all the gnomes.
He's
Prince Gnome. It's in his job title. Prince of the Gnomes.
Just right there on the screen every time we see him.
Prince
Prince
Gnome.
of Gnomes.
Pretty Boy, Prince of the Gnomes. Son of King of Gnomes. Emperor
Thick
of
Dad.
Gnomes. Thick Dad.
He prays for us.
And the gnomes that he's in charge of.
Wait, is he the reason we're allowed to have gnomes? In our hearts? And on our minds?
Do you have a gnome in your heart?
And in your mind, we should take you to a hopsital if that is the case.
Do they have equipment for that? Do they have like glitter guns and
They have specialists for such cases.
for localized gnome?
I think, maybe I'll just go to the ocean today on my own. You don't even have to send me there. I think I'll just go. I'll go say hi to PB and Thick Dad for you. They hang out at the ocean all the time.
Oh, Thick Dad and I text. Don't worry about it.
Okay, good.
So we cut back to Taco, I guess, and they're fighting at him, and there's lots of fireballs, and he's running, and then he jumps, and there's a big fireball thing, and the super gnomes are all like, "Oh man, the intruder totally got eliminated, dude!" And then I guess he's Necrom. Was he Necrom during the fight? Did he look like them?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty Boy's all like, "Well, probably not, but oh well."
Well, because then the generics behind him show up and are like, Sweaty Bro wants to meet you, Pretty Bro. Come with us. Stop fooling around with Booster Juice.
So Makoto is talking to White Lady and being like, there's 3 reasons I'm here. Number 1, I'm here to get my body back. Number 2, I'm here to talk to you. Thank you. I wouldn't have lived without you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
But wait, what was reason number 3?
Goodbye.
Would you like to come to our world?
I can't. I got some obligations. I have to like stream next week, and I promised I help out at the udon place, and I think that I'm royalty, so I probably have some royal obligations. Also, they're saying PB totally assassinated Thick Dad, but he never do that, so it's not him. I think it might have been Sweaty Bro, though. He was kind of weird.
Is your third reason that you're here to talk to Sweaty Bro? Yes. The answer's yes, but he doesn't say it.
Oh yeah, and then she's talking about how she can't leave Gnome World because of her obligations. What the hell kind of obligations, lady?
I told you.
She's
got a
streaming.
stream.
She's got to help with the udon.
but for real though.
She might be royalty.
She might be royalty.
But for real though, her obligations.
She sits in a chair and sometimes she walks on stairs.
Yeah, she doesn't do anything.
She wears white.
You misunderstand that without her there, the people who sell white clothing would go out of business, and
she's the only one who wears white.
And chairs
if
would
you
get
could
cold.
only see red, why would you buy something white?
Because I can wear whatever I
What
want.
the hell are her obligations? Like, I get the joke about the streaming, but what for real? It's
Mascot.
I thought that was Urisen's job.
not
No.
of Gnome World.
Yeah, Yursen is Snapple's mascot, in addition to Tiny Table Friends.
So
And probably Onari as well.
royalty need mascots now?
No, like countries need mascots.
Oh, countries.
She's the mascot for Gnome Hell.
She doesn't look like a very good
She's
mascot.
the poster girl.
Oh, I haven't seen her on any posters. They should get on that. Maybe they could use those photocopier coffins.
But they could call on her at any moment to actually do the photo shoot. She just has to like stay in pristine condition at all times, just in case.
Water.
Just in case.
If you guys can hear the water running in the background, what the hell is getting done right now?
It's being filled, Kate.
What's being filled?
It.
What is it?
The water gnome.
No.
There's water gnomes now. They gotta fill them up. PB meets Sweaty Bro. I wrote meets as in like the meat. He meets Sweaty. PB meets Sweaty. It's a really bad way to write this note down. And then Sweaty's like, just gonna black lightning purple cloud you. Poof.
And he poofs Pretty Boy.
Yes.
And all of the Necrom crap just falls on the ground. Like, his clothes burn up with him, but the Necrom stuff just, like, lands on the ground.
Look, Corey, clothes are a part of your soul. They do not go away just because you... They go away if you go away. They get taken with you. But Necrom's not part of Pretty Boy.
But you know
it's a weird, ugly-ass accessory.
happens. You know what happens.
No, Kate, tell me what happens.
Hell is Kate.
Gramps walks up and picks up the stuff on the ground.
Is it Gramps? Or is it Evil Gramps?
It's evil Gramps. But Gramps is there, picks up the stuff, and then we cut back to normal world, where Akari and Onari are dragging QB into awful building.
And QB's all like, no, I don't want to go in the stupid, stinky place.
We're all pretty aware that Pretty Boy's likely not dead, given that Gramps picked up his stuff.
Spoilers!
Well, it's in the next scene. That's why I'm saying
the next scene is that Saber attacks.
I missed that.
Because Onari and Akari are walking up to business building with Paint Gnome, and Saber's all like, well, time to die. And that's when, like, Tiny Table Friends go into action.
And then back in Gnome Hell, PB's space grave opens.
I wrote it down as PB wakes up in a photocopier.
That also happened. And he was super confused. He's like, what's going on? And then outside of that, Taco is limping along.
There was a lot of cutting back and forth between 3-4 different groups.
It was too much.
Because, like, I can't tell if, like, Taco can hear this, but there's, like, an announcement going on about how the Emperor's dead and gotta find my father's killer and stuff, and it was Pretty Boy, which is being done on, like, it's being projected on a wall in front of, like, 50 people.
It wasn't Pretty Boy. It was Sweaty Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty
Pretty
Boy, the one that killed my father.
Yeah.
Sorry, the way you said it made it
was-
sound like Pretty Boy was giving the announcement.
No,
Oh.
Sweaty Boy is giving an announcement.
It was a confusing scene because we know Sweaty Boy zapped Pretty Boy, but I'm assuming he's telling everyone we have to go find him
Because he knows that his real body just woke up. Yeah, maybe they don't know.
I guess they didn't really confirm that was what was going on to the audience.
They aren't very good at keeping track of the space pods.
No,
not
it's
at all.
true. It's super bad filing system.
But this announcement was being done on like a holographic
fire projector.
Yeah, huge screen, and then there was a bunch of generic gnomes watching this like royal
Some of them had hats.
address. Yeah.
What do you have to do to be one of the gnomes that gets the hat?
I don't know.
It's like a seniority thing.
Is it like... Okay, hear me out.
Okay, settle in. Corey, are you ready?
Purple fire screen of Sweaty Bro. Clearly he's overtaken the Thick Dad's Twitch channel.
Sure.
Generic gnomes are those in the chat.
Sure.
The ones with hats are the subscribers.
Interesting.
They get to chat.
So you think there's like a $5 monthly subscription to get a hat? I think people would go for that, yeah.
I would pay $5 a month to be able to wear a hat in a Twitch chat.
TBH seems deep.
So we go back to the fight with Saber Gnome, and Onari is blocking the sword with his monk staff, and Akari is taking shots with her glitter gun, and Tiny Table Friends is lying on the ground groaning and making feeble robot noises.
I mean,
they went down hard.
They're tiny.
Table friends.
I don't know if anyone's pointed this out, but they were tiny, and they're really kind of meant for a table, and they're friends.
And not for a sword fight.
They're swords if they could have them, but they can't. They're
One
too
of them
tiny.
is just straight up a gun.
It's hard to fly and be a gun at the same time, Corey. That's why you need the table. I know tiny guns can be powerful too, but it's really hard to fly and be a gun at the same time.
You would know.
You should know.
So Onari looks over and sees QB sitting on a rock painting and is all like, "Oh, I know what you can do to solve all our problems. Please paint some more." And hands him like another sheet of paper with more brushes and more paint.
Yeah, I don't think he needed more supplies. He had plenty of them.
Yeah. And then predictably Paint Gnome paints Onari's head, and then Onari's all like, "No, this won't help at all."
I don't know what Onari
Thought would happen.
expected. Yeah, or two.
Saber's not round.
No. So, and like her sword isn't round. None of her weapons are round.
It'd be really awkward if her sword was round.
Yeah, it did not make a lot of sense. Now we're back in Gnome Hell. Taco is in a room of space coffins. One of them is glowing red, and so he goes over to it, and he looks inside, and then the person that was inside of it turns into dirt.
Yep. There's a weird flashback to Mr. Steampunk saying how souls are valuable resources.
And Taco touches the coffin.
And has other people's flashbacks.
Yeah, goes to someone else's flashbacks of, like, I guess a wife and daughter.
And then it looks like friends of them as
Yeah,
well.
and there's like green trees and stuff.
But he's like, yo, maybe Makoto is in here. Maybe Makoto's body.
But before he can look, a bunch of generics show up.
So he transforms and then fights them. And then we're back into normal world. Saber and QB.
Saber walks up to QB and is all like, "Well, now time to kill you, since I've dealt with all of the other things, the problems." And it's like, "What are you even trying to do up here?" And QB's all like, "I like to paint, it's fun." And Saber's like, "Fun? Meaningless. You're worthless," and goes to like do an overhand swing down on QB.
And then it cuts back to Gnome Hell. Surprise, surprise. To Sweaty Bro down there. And then Spectre walks in and says, You made me a soldier. You did this to me.
So I'm grateful for that. But, you know,
I'm going to kill you now.
Yeah.
So then both of them transform. And we're back in normal world.
We should talk about Sweaty Bro's transformation Ultima.
Yeah?
He's a cat.
He's a cat man.
He's a cat. Meowgistry.
He's like space robot cat.
He's
Knight.
a very white gold cat king.
King cat.
King cat.
He's the emperor now.
Chairman Meow?
Ooh.
Emperor Meow?
Sure.
Emperor Meow. He's the Emperor Meow.
Got there.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So we cut to Saber lowering her sword instead of killing Pain. I was like, you know what? It would be totally meaningless to kill you. Just like your fun that you're having. Your friend's going to be back soon. Right? He's coming. I'm going to wait here. I'm just going to stand around and wait.
I will await your body, were her words. And I was
Okay.
like, yo, that's
Whoa.
intense.
He's got goals.
Yep.
Didn't realize Saber was into that.
New Year's resolutions.
That's okay. Cool. We go back to Emperor Meow really beating up on Spectre. And Spectre's all like, but PB has a heart and I think he could change and that would be great.
And then he like gets down on his knee and like shoots at him with his gun, and Chairman Meow sends the bullets back into the gun somehow.
He seemed unrealistically harder than any other gnome they've come across.
Yeah. And then Taco appears.
Just runs in.
Time to fight now, I guess. We fight this other gnome.
In between some of these fights, we get to see great little cuts of Saber standing, waiting for that body.
Yeah, like not even any dialogue between any of the characters. It's
Yep,
just
just standing around outside waiting.
and then
In a different dimension.
QB painting.
Yeah. QB having a lot of fun painting.
Painting a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kibi's like laying on the ground, has 20, 30 sheets of paper scattered around,
I mean,
covered in painting.
QB got told that they could paint and they should go ham on painting, and nobody told them to stop. So they haven't.
So back in Gnome Hell, Spectre has evolved into Tutankhamun. And
a Pokemon?
is
Yes.
using that pyramid attack. The pyramid attack that destroys everything that enters the giant space hole that the pyramid has in it.
Omega
So
Fang.
sends an Omega Fang at Emperor Meow and sucks him in, and giving him and Taco time to escape.
And then it's dragging Spectre through the hallways because, like, well, I guess it's kind of dragging both of them. They're dragging each other because both of them are hurt. Go back to normal world.
And
QB still painting.
Emperor Meow pops out of the void that he was sucked into. So
yeah, he comes back.
not effective.
As Taco Time is trudging along with Spectre, and there's like 2 different paths he could go. He starts to veer left down the red path, but then he hears a voice is like this way, and he goes down the white path, the one that's not in the red light.
Cut back to Onari has fallen asleep standing,
Cut to PB running down a hall.
looking disheveled. He's
Saying-
got clothes on.
Yeah, and he's saying, my dad can't be dead. Maybe the magistrate can help.
So Taco and Spectre uncover Evil Gramps' Eyecon collection room.
The
Which-
Eyecon Museum.
Yeah,
the display of icons.
I was kind of disappointed with this scene because when they walk in, like you see Musashi glow, and Taco Time's like, "Oh, cool, this one," and takes it.
It was Musashi.
But there's the other ones are all around, and he's just like, "Nope, this one mine."
And then, oh, what's this giant icon?
It's fancy.
Touches it. Why would you do that?
Well, so you can get that static shock.
He got yellow ghost
Zapped
lightning.
by the giant beige brick that he tried to touch.
And then he touches it again. He's just like, "Oh, okay, I guess this zaps people. I'll pick it up."
Hey man, we don't kink shame here.
But it's like the first time he opened an icon in the mail from his dead father, he got zapped. So maybe it's a similar zap, but higher power.
How do you remember the beginning of this show?
I don't at all. I was just like, okay,
He got
good.
zapped by an icon.
I don't remember any of this.
I don't remember last week's show.
That wasn't last week.
I don't remember last time's show.
Last time he gave away a sack.
I remember that because that was
Yeah.
hilarious. So then Pretty Boy walks in to Eyecon Museum and like falls over from pain. And then Taco runs up and gets like aggressive and is like, you said this was a perfect utopia. Why are there capsules with people in it? Why is everybody... And then just like gets angry.
It's like, I saw one of your pod people die.
Yeah,
You said this was a perfect utopia. What kind of perfect utopia is this? You have space pods. Space pods.
this is also where Makoto points out that he's in his real body. So
Yeah.
we learn that this is definitely the real body.
Not everyone's got just spares lying around.
I would think as a royal gnome, you might have a couple spares, especially if people can just zap you with purple lightning to death. You know, contingency plans, other than children.
So they're informed that they're surrounded and go outside, and they're like 50 dudes and then some super gonmas. Ooh, gnome. Super gnomes.
I forgot we even called them that.
All right.
Sorry, thinking back to like the first few episodes, my brain has reverted vocabulary.
How do you even remember these things?
Time travel.
Did
Always move
Did you
forward.
rewatch some episodes to catch up while we were away?
No?
How do you remember any of these things?
I remember all the episodes. There's only been 22. This is the 22nd episode. We've not seen that much.
Only 22.
Look, I only remember the things they constantly keep repeating. Taco Time's dad is dead. He died when he was 18 and he gave his sack away for love. I think. Maybe.
Well, maybe, like...
And Tiny Kibble Friends are the
his
best.
love of Onari and airport and train yard, because those were the three that were in peril at that time. That Saber had the sphere full of souls.
Were they? I don't remember that. It didn't happen.
So Spectre's like, oh no, we're totally surrounded and boned, and Pretty Boy transforms into Necrom, even though he's like totally wasted, and forms an eye seal in the air.
How did he get Necrom?
Didn't
Evil Gramps pick up Necrom?
I don't.
Where did Necrom come
maybe
from?
Necrom got added back to the stack.
Yeah, because then Taco had all these sacks, which means that he grabbed all of the icons to take with him. So one of them was probably Necrom, and then he gave it to PB. Why? I don't know, but he did.
So
Okay.
Spectre grabs Taco and leaps through the portal back into the real world.
And then PB follows.
Yeah, they land where everyone is waiting, including Saber, who's like, "Oh, cool, you're here now. You look real hurt and all, but it's time to duel. Let's fight.
Fight me.
Fight me. I will fight you." And Taco Time just looks at her very, very angrily and is like, "Fine."
And then transforms.
Into Boost.
Then they fight.
They're doing sword fighties, and PB is all like, why aren't you helping your friend?
And Makoto's like, because it's a duel and it's between two people. It's a one-on-one situation. We can't help. We're not allowed to.
He's fighting with his life on the line.
And Taco Time does a Boost Omega Drive, and Saber
dies.
gets real happy and is all like, "Yeah, that's a good fight," and then explodes.
It leaves a smoking sword and sheath on the ground.
I was not expecting that explosion.
I wasn't expecting
Like-
the fight to be so short.
Like, not that large of an explosion. It seemed a little
Well, you
larger.
see, gnomes are full of gasoline.
No.
They should get that checked out by maybe a gnome doctor or something.
Pretty Boy at this point seems very confused, and he doesn't understand, and he walks away. Probably back down to the river.
I mean, he does
need
like
to
it there.
eat now?
Oh, because that's his body.
So wait, if he goes down to the river, I'm gonna assume that's where the takoyaki stand is.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll get over his fear of eating circle things.
Or he'll see Cannon's painting and be like, oh, my bae. You know what? I'm going to try this.
Yeah, that's next episode for sure.
I'm gonna eat a sphere and hang out with my new best friends. So back in Gnome Hell, another one of the space pods open, and Military Man kind of pops out. And Sweat Bro comes up to him and is all like, meh, and hands him an icon.
And then back at Snapple HQ, Taco is at a shrine, I guess?
Yeah, like the normal temple shrine, because he lives in a temple and he's like meditating.
And then beside him is giant Eyecon that electrocuted him. And they're sitting there like praying or meditating.
Yep.
Doing something.
Having flashbacks.
Yeah, having flashbacks to all the capsules of people turning into dirt.
This is not a flashback I would want to keep in my flashback memory.
No, but then the episode finished.
Yep.
Just like that.
Yep.
I mean, technically a lot happened. We saw an assassination and a coup. And
Another
like,
assassination.
a lot of royalty and their obligations. And like, we saw the most people we've ever seen in this show. We saw like hundreds of gnomes.
We saw gnomes with hats.
Yeah, we saw gnomes with hats. And
There were many, many gnomes.
yes. And Tiny Table Friends got injured in a fight. But no one's going to bring that up.
That's not canon.
No, Canon is Makoto's sister.
I meant story canon, but fine. Tiny Table Friends would be doing better in their own show. Just saying.
You don't think their talents are being fully explored here?
I just think the spin-off's better.
Thanks so much for listening to our podcast. You can follow us on Twitter.
At GHOSTWATCH2016.
You can go to our website.
GHOSTWATCH2016.xyz.
You can find us on iTunes.
GHOSTWATCH2016.
What about YouTube?
Also GHOSTWATCH2016.
Anywhere else?
No.
There you have it. Speaking of Twitter.
Yeah.
We got an actual request for nicknames.
Got 2 requests.
2.
We got an actual couple of requests for nicknames.
All right, let's start with 1.
So if you missed it on last time's episode, we said if you want us to nickname you, you should tweet us. We had 2 folks tweet
Actually
us.
do it.
Yeah, so we're gonna do this.
So we've got at Portmanbeau.
All
which
right.
is a great username.
They say they play board games for a living, or teach people how to play board games for a living. And their location is Underwater Fireworks.
Seafaring board game friend.
Sea Pirate board game friend.
Is there a board game that has to do with pirates?
Settlers of Catan, Seafarers.
Explosions friend.
Explosions friend.
Wait, you said you've underwater fireworks.
Seafaring Catan friend?
Does he have a picture?
Poofy hair, glasses boy.
Spacefaring board games boy.
Hairy
Okay.
glasses friend.
And by spacefaring, I mean seafaring,
Ooh.
not spacefaring.
And our other request came from at KidRoar19,
No, we know Kid Roar.
who has this Pokemon trainer picture as avatar. So I'm saying clear-eyed Pokemon boy.
Hat wearing, clear eyed Pokemon boy.
Just bright eyes,
Bright eyed, bushy tailed
Pokemon boy.
Pokemon boy.
We looked into his eyes on that photo. We have to fight him now.
Well, Kid Roar didn't have a bio.
But
On
when
Twitter.
you make eye contact with a Pokemon trainer, you have to fight them.
Not eye contact, like with a driver belt and sunglasses.
That's
slasher.
a different kind of eye contact.
Speaking of things I remember and I wish to forget. I'm going to go now and forget.
I guess we gave them both a bunch of different nicknames.
Please use any and all that apply at any given moment.
I mean, that's how we nickname everything.
Yeah, until we find one that just kind of is easy to say.
Or write down. What?
Even
PB
then
is
it's
super
tough.
easy to write down.
I have trouble writing down PB. I keep writing down PO.
That works.
Then I have to fix it and make it a B.
It's a Q.
Yeah, no, that's QB, but that's,
Oh,
that's
I
how I
see, I
do for
see, I
PB
see.
all the time.
Oh, yeah. Actually, just writing down a Q and a B would make more sense for that. Oh, I've been writing it down.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.